Hey guys, we figured if we're crazy, we might as well do it twice.
We can't get enough of this. We just can't.
Heck no. So welcome to the nighttime edition of our own private virtual. Actually, it's not private. It's open to you guys. But our own virtual festival.
Very much virtual.
And Jackie, I think, probably thought I was crazy because I wanted to do the nighttime thing, and she's like, "Man." The other day, we're like, "Should we do it during the day or during the night?" She says, "Most people go to the festival during the day." My personal favorite time is the nighttime, though. Like, I love the festivals, like the Denton Arts and Jazz, where it's the nighttime and it's, I don't know, everything cools off and it's cool and you can hear the music, from the stages and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, it's
I
nice.
know. I wish we had some music.
I know. You get dinged immediately on the Facebooks and the YouTubes if you play music. We talked in the one we did this afternoon about maybe royalty-free music, maybe playing that, but it would just sort of be a background thing. Although we also talked about maybe having like live, like streaming live bands or having a live band in and playing. I think that
Yeah.
would be cool. Have some legit live music.
That would be really cool.
That would be awesome. But today has been so beautiful, and it's this time of year where there's festivals and the art festivals, and of course they've all been canceled, and we don't do that many of them, but we miss them. We only do about 5 a year, really. So it's not that many, but the ones we do, we love. Like we just do the ones we really really like, and this year it's kind of weird because even before we showed art at a festival, we'd go to the Denton Arts and Jazz, we'd go to all these different ones. It's the ones that we show in now, and we show there because we would probably go there anyway. We'd just be there, looking at the art, listening to the music.
Yeah.
So, this is weird. This is the first spring in years that we wouldn't have gone to a festival. So.
And this is the first weekend of Arts and Jazz that it didn't have a torrential rainy day.
Yeah. It's sort of
This weather is ridiculous.
It's an unwritten rule for Denton Arts and Jazz, and really for Tulsa Mayfest, and for a few that are down in this region in the South, where you've got to have at least one day where you got to hunker down and wonder about the tornadoes and whatnot.
Yes.
But I started this painting earlier. Let me show you guys. So we're just hanging out, relaxing. So,
Yeah, Mike said that's not water Jackie is drinking. You would be accurate.
oh,
I just made a Sprite and rum.
okay,
Earlier we were drinking this weird pack of tiki cocktails that was all right. It was very lollipop candy.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to bring that out. We were doing a thing. We streamed this afternoon, and yeah, I was wondering if you were going to bring that out again tonight.
I mean, it never went in the house. It's all right here. So, I mean, when, desperate times.
Well, if anybody was wondering what life at a carny would be like, the art festival lifestyle, you can hang out here with us in our tent and live the life. Let me show you. This is our nighttime.
This is carny with class.
And we've lost our minds, guys. Okay, we're in the backyard. You can see our tent. This is our 10 by 10 tent. We have a 10 by 20 tent.
I'll walk the camera around while people are.
Oh, cool.
While you're talking.
So behind us is part of our back fence. We're in the backyard. My studio, I'm going to point to it, is right over there. I have a door going into my studio, and the back porch is this way, and all that.
Okay, so this is the door into the studio.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of stuff in the backyard. We our work truck, we parked it out front, and we thought we're going to do a studio. We're going to do a festival, and I think our neighbors think we've lost our minds.
Yeah.
We have an 8-foot fence, but the tent well pokes up over that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna walk this into the tent. This is what the tent looks like at night. It's just a regular party room.
Nighttime is the best time for a festival. So, so these are the paintings, guys, and everything. We just, it's so funny. We just wanted to hang all the artwork. Also for art festivals and stuff, you have to have booth shots. So we thought, well, we'll set up the tent and we'll do this. And it's also a good excuse to get more booth shots and things like that. So we'll get two things to do. We got this 10 by 10 tent, and we have a 10 by 20, but we're only so crazy. We don't want to break out the 10 by 20.
We don't have room in the backyard.
We do.
I don't. We used to have a bounce house.
That was 25 feet.
That bounce house. I thought the bounce house was 15.
Oh no, it's 20. That's right. It was 20. It's 25 feet across that way. That's right. Yeah, so it fit just like the bounce house.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, we had a 2-story bounce house. My mom and dad are crazy. They asked if they could buy Jack a bounce house once, and we thought like a little thing, and they went and got one for a like my mom's. I don't know. She found a deal or something where it was a commercial bounce house, like with the inflatable slide and everything, and you have to climb up the slide. And it was a legit, like you could rent it out at parties. Bounce house. But it was But here's the funny thing about it. We got the bounce house, and it was almost like the Pied Piper or something. Like we didn't tell any kids around the neighborhood. It was just like they had a sixth sense. They started showing up at the door. And Jack's just a little kid, and they just started. I don't know how they.
Well, I mean, it probably helped that the thing was easily 15 feet tall.
Yeah, it probably helps.
And
that probably helps too.
Yeah, and you could see it easily from multiple houses away.
Yeah, but the kids were like, it's like I don't know. It's all kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crazy.
Toss me one.
What's Peter?
No,
Jack.
Toss it.
Jack, please don't.
Jack, toss it. It's a confetti egg.
Oh. I don't know. Jack is just throwing something at me. I didn't even know. Well,
here we go. It's gotten crazy.
Shoot.
Oh, Jack, no. I have to sweep it out because I have to take shots later.
Hey, why don't you wait for those for tomorrow, Jack?
Yeah, here, take this one
Jack.
And take them inside.
Yeah, let's not do it right now, darling.
I've been waiting so long.
Well,
we'll bust them all over the place tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow later. Okay. Anyway, guys, I want to show y'all too, real quick about this. So I started this. This is really raw, so you can't judge it too much. Oh, that's just a Jack for thing. We'll explode some eggs in a minute. We have what are those eggs called?
Confetti eggs.
Yeah,
we've had them forever.
Narcissus, though, he had a name for them. They're
I don't know. It's a tradition in his family. I don't remember what that's called.
Yeah, it's a. Gosh, I can't think of the Spanish word for them, but they're awesome. They're eggs full of confetti. So when you throw them, they explode. They go crazy. So I just started this painting this afternoon. I drew it right before we streamed this afternoon. I was just working on it. What it's going to be, I probably should say because it might be hard to tell. This is just being blocked in, so this is not what the painting is going to look like. I'm just starting to put down the original colors. So I got a couple of hummingbirds and crazy colors. They're going to be nutty colors, and it's going to be like paint dripping down. And it's almost like the birds are flying in between, like the paint's are dripping on one side of the bird.
It's going to be cool.
You hear me? It's going to be awful.
Colleen Hunter Reagan has joined us in this waving hello.
Well, hello back. Oh, actually, here. This is better. Hi. Come on over to our booth. So yeah, we've lost our minds. But and we're also running a special, and whenever we do a festival, we always treat it like a gallery show. So we always unveil like new paintings, and we try to have special deals and stuff. But since we're not really doing any festivals this whole spring, we wanted to do something a little better. So we are having like this little sale, and it's
the spiders are sorry.
You get attacked by spiders.
There's a spider on the deck. I'm like,
don't worry, he won't bite you too much.
Well,
he's supposed to give you kisses.
And now Eagle's wreaking havoc.
Eagle wants some love. Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Oh, ooh, puppy kisses. I feel like Lucy and Peanuts. Like, dog cooties. But we're doing this special. Generally, at a festival, we'll say something like, "Oh, we buy 2 prints, you get 1 free," and because there's no shipping or anything like that. But we got a really positive response on one of the paintings I just did. It's Standing Against the Storm. So we thought with any order we would give away a print of Standing in the Storm, just for free. But also, if you don't really want that print, you can have whatever print you want. But so somebody made an order. In the notes of it, if you put in what print you want, we'll send you that. If you don't put in anything, we'll just send you a print of Standing Against the Storm, and of the largest size that you order. So, like if you order a limited edition, we'll send you another limited edition for free of whatever print you want of that size. And if you order a 16 by 20 regular or matted print, we'll send you another 16 by 20 for free, whatever you want. So anyway,
there you have it.
yeah, that's so I don't know. We're trying to have some fun with it all, and we've been hanging out, and it's just so nice out. It's ridiculous.
It is really nice outside. It was like perfect and warm earlier, and now it's just slightly, it's a little brisk, but it feels great outside. Well, Tracy Markle said, "Good evening, guys," and Mindy Duran Keen said, "Love that painting."
Well, good evening, and thank you very much. Thank you. I have high hopes. I did a painting called Melting Butterflies. Butterflies just have this sort of magic to them where you could be having an okay day, and then suddenly going through the yard could be butterflies, and it's almost like they just change your whole attitude. It's like, so I did a painting where it's like the butterflies are melting into paint drops, and everywhere they go, they're bringing this joy and this. So originally I was going to do something like this where the hummingbirds, the paint was actually dripping off the hummingbirds. Then I started drawing that. I started drawing the hummingbirds first this afternoon, and then I thought, well, I don't know. It'd almost be more interesting if they were dodging in between these paint drops and stuff.
Yeah.
Just as long as it's not scary. Like I don't want to, I don't want it to be like everybody's afraid that the hummingbirds are going to get clobbered by the paint. Like, go hummingbird, go! No. And yeah. So hopefully not. And we established earlier today that I'm the anti-Bob Ross because Bob Ross would do about 3 paintings for each episode every time he was on.
I mean, he would do 1 painting on the episode, but for that painting, he had to do 3 bits of it.
That's true. Well, he would. That's true. So, like for every episode, he would do 3 paintings. So, he would do a pre-painting to kind of work everything out. Then he would do a painting on the episode, and then after the episode, he would redo the painting again. And that would be the more refined finished painting that he would have a photo taken and put them in. He'd put it into a how to paint book. So every episode that you see of Bob Ross, he did 3 paintings of that painting, and they had thousands of paintings of his. And lots of the same painting over and over, and that was a minimum. So it was like 3 minimum. We've established that I probably do 1 painting for every 3 episodes. So I'm the anti Bob, but that's okay. I can live with that. I love Bob Ross.
Speaking of Bob Ross,
let me some Bob Ross. Happy tree. I'm making some happy fun.
Happy paint. Did you know he kept an alligator in the bathtub as a kid?
No, yeah. I kept a crocodile for a little bit.
Hey, you guys!
I'm telling you,
are so similar. It's ridiculous.
But he had an alligator. I had a crocodile. I'm the anti-Bob. It's the opposite. And mine bit me a lot. But I should say I lived in East Texas, and it was at a festival that I got it. Not an arts festival. It was at not Cayman. There's a trades days, Canton trades days, and this was a long time ago.
Yeah. Gosh,
this is a long time ago. You could buy it. You could buy a crocodile in the pets section at Canton. Yeehaw! It was little. It was a cane. It was one of the little. It's not like it's not like a Tiger King situation. This is like a little one. You can keep it like an aquarium or something. I called him Happy because he always had a toothy grin. But I don't know. I did a lot of rescue of animals and stuff. So I had lots of birds. Had that. And I ended up I had that little crocodile for a little while. And then, but had lots of weird. But I don't recommend it. But if you could rescue an animal like that.
Well, he was a fan of rescuing animals and
but that's
hanging out with crazy animals.
Yeah, and at the time, like whenever I got that, whenever I bought that, I was working with a dog rescue and stuff, and it just seemed like, I don't know, the situation that little baby crocodile was in wasn't awesome. And I thought, I'll take it home and because I had snakes and things at the time. I thought I'll give it a better one for and figure out what to do with it. And then, but yeah. Anyway, enough of that. I don't have any snakes or crocodiles now. At least I hope I don't. You never know what could go crawling up.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, and you talked about Bob Ross and being anti because he He painted so quick. He could paint an entire season in 2 days, supposedly. An entire season of show. So 13 episodes in 2 days.
That magic that he had in his afro is
So, I mean, like, that's 13... That's nuts.
That's pretty nuts, man. That's crazy.
13 oil paintings.
Well, but he would do them in 20, 25 minutes, so...
Oh, yeah.
So he had, so...
But still, it's impressive.
Yeah, it is. But he would work them out a little before. I guess that's why he would do that, maybe, too. That makes more sense why he would pre-do them. That way, because he wouldn't film he would go in and do a filming for a season in a few days.
Yeah.
And he was off, like he would do his own business or whatever. But you would go in, so you would know, I'm going to do this painting, this painting, this painting. You'd have them all lined up.
Yeah.
And then just do those paintings and then redo them.
I wonder what a Bob Ross goes for these days.
I don't know. They were missing for a long time.
Interesting.
And then I think they found a warehouse, didn't they, where it was like thousands of Bob Ross paintings?
Yeah, I don't know. I forget the details on that, but it was interesting.
I don't know, but I know that like for his episode, I don't know why we're talking about Bob Ross so much, but apparently, welcome to the Joy Painting too, guys.
Well,
we just talked about the Joy Painting.
Well, I was looking up interesting facts about him.
Well, man, I know some Bob Ross trivia.
Well, I should say really fast, Herb joined us and he says, hello.
Hey, Herb.
Hey.
Or is Other John, as I like to call you.
Yes. So you said you had facts.
Oh, he was in the Navy. He
Air Force.
Oh, I thought it was the Navy.
Pretty sure it was the Air Force. I don't
Maybe
know. Let me check.
Maybe my facts aren't quite as airtight as I thought they were. Maybe I don't have any facts. But he seemed like an interesting guy, though.
Let's see. He was the Air Force Master Sergeant, and he was quite the yeller.
Yeah, I do. I thought it was the Navy, though, but it's Air Force, huh?
That's what the internet says.
Yeah.
The internet's always right.
Well, yeah, and I know he was in there for like 20 years, like and then when he left, he said he had to yell so much at his job in the Air Force, apparently. He said, I don't want to ever yell again. And that's why he has such a soft voice. And also, like his painting style, which is like a wet-on-wet technique, it's a technique that he learned from another painter, which I can't think of his name right
Alexander?
now. Might have been.
That was like well, according to the internet.
Yeah, like he took lessons and stuff and all that, and to learn like this wet-on-wet alla prima technique.
Bill Alexander.
Yeah, and the weird thing, I think Bill Alexander was something like he invented the technique, but I mean, it's been around since Middle Age. I mean, it's been around for a long time, so I don't know. I don't know about all that.
Bob Ross dedicated his first episode on PBS, The Joy of Painting, to him.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think the Alexander guy got a little peeved or something.
What? No. It says here that when Alexander retired, he appointed Ross his successor.
Oh, that's nice.
I think they were besties.
Oh, that's cool. See, like I said, I'm not sure about my...
I don't know.
I like the drama. I like the idea that Alexander and Bob were in the dark alley, and they're like, "We're going to fight for the rights to be on PBS." And
I don't.
Bob Ross has got a sharpened hair pick up in his fro, and Alexander has got his painting knives all down to the point.
Well, Christy Harkins joins us and says, "Good evening."
Well, good evening. Please, somebody stop us from our...
Give me another topic. I'll look up facts.
Yeah, our crazy rambling.
So yeah, everybody, this is what we do at festivals. We just people watch and talk about random things. So
yeah, and that's one of the best things about a festival. Like, I know I said a little earlier, but we don't do a lot of art festivals. Like we've tried them out. Like there was one year where we did over 10 or 15 or something. And for us, that was a whole lot. We usually do maybe 5, and we do it because we really like it. And so you get to interact with people in a completely unique way than you do at a gallery. In a gallery, you hang the art, and then you might have an opening, and then you go away. And most of the times with the gallery shows we do, they're like in another state, they're somewhere else. So you really go away. And, and then you don't talk to anybody unless, I guess, a gallery owner, and they'll say, "Oh, hey, we sold a painting." And you're like, "That's awesome." but you never get to meet the person that bought the painting, and it's just so at a art festival. We do juried art festivals, and the big reason for that is because I want to meet the other artists too. It's so much more interesting, isn't it? When you can talk to the other artists and see what they're into.
Yeah.
And the color of art is always so interesting, so great. And I miss that. Like, I don't know. So we wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Right here. So here we are. So I'm working on my birds. Happy springtime. Jackie.
Hey, your mic is doing something weird.
Oh, what's it doing?
It's like moving.
Oh. Sorry, guys. Just one sec. Let me see if I can fix it.
Okay.
Is that any better? Oh,
yeah. Well, it stopped. That was really weird.
Oh, it's probably the. I'm gonna blame the beagle. She's nowhere around here.
It's always her fault.
Yeah. Now it's probably that connection, that XLR connection.
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it better now?
Yes. It's
You
hard
notice
to.
it again.
It's always hard to tell because like the delay is weird. So.
Oh yeah. Hey, if you guys notice anything wrong with the sound, please let me know. We brought everything out here in the backyard. We already streamed once today, but everything's kind of been outside all day. We have this video computer we use for workshops and stuff that we do. We're doing lots and lots of online workshops for different schools and different places and stuff. And we thought, hey, this cart rolls. Why don't we roll it outside?
Let's roll it.
So,
Well, Will Van Winkle joined us and said, "How much would you? Here, let me. How much would you charge for a painting of me and my future wife?"
Oh. Congratulations, by the way. That's so awesome. And thank you for considering me for that. The best thing probably to do would be to send me an email at brandlit.com. And that's in the top, I think. Am I pointing towards it?
Yes.
I'm pointing towards it, apparently. It's right there, but it's BRAMBLITT.com. And the reason that I say that is because there's different options and different sizes and stuff. And so, and I can get back to you. And I do commissions a little bit in a different way than most artists. I don't have a down. I don't usually do a down or anything like that. So, so if you can send me an email, I can send you the details. But thank you for considering me for that. Though, that's so brilliant.
Well, he says thank you as well. And Blair Copeland asked, "How does your right hand?" Okay, I'm sorry. How does his right hand place his brush and start brushing the canvas before his left hand touches the canvas?
Oh,
how do you do the thing you do?
Nice. Well, that's a good question. And what I'm doing right now is I'm blocking in the color, so it's less precise. So what I'm trying to do, let me show this, is I'm covering up the white in the sections. So I've been working on this for quite a bit today. So there's really only 3 main sections. There's the paint and there's each bird. So I know where they are. And the black paint feels a little bit different. It has sort of a rubbery kind of feel for me. And so I know where the birds are. This hummingbird is just about halfway and then going up, and then the wing goes over so far. So I know the position where I drew it in today, roughly. So I can start putting it in, and then I'll start dialing it in a little bit when I'm in there. So like right now, what I'm doing is I probably should have been saying this. I'm doing it's a wash of a turquoise blue with that's been thinned down, so it's a very light tint. And the idea is that I'm just tinting this whole area. So if I get it outside the bird a little bit, that's fine. If it's inside the bird, it's fine. Later on the next steps, I'm gonna have to be much more precise. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of touching before I put it down. But right now, close is good enough. Like if I get it close, then I can start getting it in. And that's because I'm just doing a technique of blocking in the color. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So, but I can get it pretty close though, to be honest. I paint a lot of hours every day. So I don't know. I rub little spots on my elbows and things. It's weird. Like when I got my new, I got a new chair in my studio, and I swear I kind of rubbed my elbows wrong.
Oh yeah, because
yeah,
you lean
I was
on
like, I don't know
it
if
or
this
something.
chair's gonna work, because I brace myself, and it's almost like a guide. Like I know where I can go, and I kind of do the same movements over and over. Like I get locked in, and yeah. So I don't usually have that much problems with that.
Well, Mike said Bramlett.com is where I can buy your paintings, question mark.
Yeah, and
well, you want me to answer that?
Just
please. Okay. So yeah, every available original is on the website. So if you go to the website Bramlett.com and you click on available originals, everything that is an actual original, like these, are listed there, and that's what we actually have. And then if you go to the reproductions link under either limited or regular, then pretty much every painting is there, and you can order it however you want and size and whether or not you want it limited or matted or whatever. But if anybody's interested in the original, you can see what's available and then just shoot us an email. So that is where you would find that information. And I should say, like, 2 paintings sold this last 2 weeks, and I haven't had a chance to take those off the website, but pretty much everything on there is accurate.
Yeah, and a lot of what I've been working on here lately are commissions. So yeah. I've just been working on tons of commissions, and which has been so much fun. Actually, I love doing commissions, and so I've been doing a lot of that, and so we haven't really been adding too many new paints to the. I mean, but I have a lot of new paints. I have like the Immersion series, that's new, and then I actually have a dog series that is going to benefit the guide dogs of Texas, and that's going to be coming down. It's in a gallery right now, but of course, because everything's kind of closed down, people haven't been able to visit.
That whole thing was a big bummer for all of this, because I mean it's a great show because half of the proceeds go to Guide Dogs of Texas, and when we did it a couple of years ago, it was a huge awesome thing, and this year we were really expecting to be able to hand over a giant chunk of cash, and unfortunately we didn't. The reception got canceled, everything got canceled, so I think we were supposed to pick up the art next weekend, but now I imagine they'll take it down and then just store it until we get down there. I'm not even sure.
I mean, you need to get with them. And
I should say, if anybody loves dog paintings, you can go over. They're all listed under available originals, and half of the sale goes to Guide Dogs of Texas. So, and right now is awesome because of everything going on, and nonprofits are hurting a little bit.
Is Eagle over there? I heard her jingle earlier.
Yeah, she's you can see her head in the camera.
Can you see her there?
Yeah, about the same.
Eagle, she's my yellow lab over there. Oh, I heard her get up, didn't she? Did she?
See, now she's
oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I didn't want you to have to get up there. I don't have anything for her. There you are.
Oh. Well, so Christy said, fabulous, too funny about us being people watching, and she said, when I was younger, I traveled with the carnival for 7 years, and we did lots of people watching. That would be crazy, traveling with a carnival.
Yeah,
that sounds like a crazy party.
That would be interesting. Man, you'll have to share some stories with us sometime. That sounds.
And Tracy asked, how long does it take to finish a single piece?
It depends. I usually work on 2 or 3 paintings at a time. I have this painting that I started today, and I finished a painting yesterday, and I have another one that I've started that's the commission. So right now I only have 2 going. Generally, a painting like this might take a couple of days. When I first started painting, though, almost 18 years ago, it would take a month to finish a painting. But over time, though, I've been able to develop better drawing techniques. So now I'm kind of back at the speed that I was probably when I was sighted. But it's because I've been able to develop these different techniques. But usually a day or 2 for a painting this size. This is a 20 by 20, but it really depends on the painting. I've had some paintings that have taken forever, but I'm in no rush, because once a painting's done, it's done forever. So why not take your time on it? And it's like the commission that I just finished. That last commission, how long did it probably take for me to work on it?
Well, I mean, you would work on it periodically, but it probably took about 3 weeks.
Yeah, probably about 3 weeks, and it was always there in the studio, and I'd work on it, let it dry. I have to think about it for a while. What am I going to do here? And then, so it probably took a few weeks, and it was a large painting.
Well, Mike said, I love the painting on the back wall, which I'm sure is probably a special night, the blue park one.
Oh, well, thank you, Mike.
Thanks. We did a tour just a little bit ago of the tent. I'll do another one in just a little bit again. Let's see, Brian. Brian joined us.
Hey, Brian.
He says John's spatial awareness is pretty insane. When I first met him, he beat me at darts. Just when you start to question John's sight, he accidentally sits on you. So he's only so awesome.
Yeah. Or was it an accident? Like I said, yeah. Hello, Brian. Yeah. Yeah. Just it's funny with the painting. It's something that we teach children with visual impairments, because the same way that I paint is the same way that you get around with a white cane. It's using O&M skills, or orientation and mobility. And so the more that you paint using the O&M skills, the better your spatial awareness is. Your ability to hold a mental map. And it's funny because it took me years to be able to get to the level I am now, where I can put something down and remember where it is. I can remember like where my cup is better because of this. It's the mental maps get better and better and better all the time. But what's crazy though is that the children that we teach how to paint, they're using these cane skills, they're doing this, and their ability to get around, it just explodes. Like it's so, their brains are so plastic. They're able to bring in the idea so quickly that what took me maybe 3-4 years to do, to get to a certain level, they're doing it in just a few weeks. I'm always amazed. It's just incredible.
Well, Mike asked, did you sell the mask painting, Standing Against the Storm?
Oh, we did. We sure did.
Yeah, like right after the live show. Yeah, somebody had already asked about it, like before even that night that you finished it, and got first dibs. So
we did. That was so nice.
That, yeah.
Oh my goodness. And I can't tell you guys how I don't know how thankful I am for you guys supporting what I do and all the painting, and being here, just watching this, and I appreciate that so much. It really does help. This is a tough time for everybody, and I know that we've been in contact with lots of our friends that are artists, and it's a hard time. Art shows are inherently a group gathering of people,
yeah.
Of human beings getting
it's a bit
together
different now.
and breathing next to each other and everything. And it's hard to have an art show or a workshop or anything, and so thank you guys so much for just supporting the art, and all, because just being here, showing an interest means so much.
He said that was a beautiful painting. So.
Oh, well, thank you.
And then Lita's joined us and says, "Good evening. Are those hummingbirds?"
Good evening. Yeah, they're going to be right now. They're not quite humming yet, but they will be. But the idea. It's always a little embarrassing to show a painting while it's going, because this is very early. I'm just blocking in the painting. So to block in a painting, you're just putting the initial color. And that's all I'm doing now. I'm just putting in blocks of colors. It doesn't even have to be completely in the lines. Like, that doesn't matter so much. I'm going to go in and finish them out and keep refining it, put down different layers of color, more layers of color. So right now I'm just kind of getting all the colors, playing around with them, thinking like, oh, if I have red here, do I want green here? Because they're complementary, that'll be great. So the hummingbirds are going to be full of all these different colors. It's going to be one. I've never painted hummingbirds, I don't think, ever before. Got all these paint drops. Initially, the hummingbirds were going to be like a painting I did, Melting Butterflies, where the hummingbirds themselves are like melting in the paint and dripping paint everywhere. And I thought, it might be more fun if they're weaving and dodging between the paint.
Yeah, I like that idea more, because it sounds like they're exploding into paint. It doesn't sound nice. It sounds like just someone colored their blood.
Jeez, it's dark, kid.
I'm not joking, man. The melting into paint.
Nah, they're enjoying the colors. Yeah,
I like that I'm dying.
You're silly.
So anyway,
Lita says, "Do you still do custom paintings where you take ideas from people and then create from their ideas?"
Yes.
So yeah.
Actually, I've been doing I always do a lot of commission work. That's a big thing of what I do. And during like the this whole thing, I sorry.
You're gonna pelt us with eggs. I don't want to be pelted with confetti eggs.
Yeah, I love to do commissions. and stuff. It's so what I love to do is take somebody's ideas and to be able to I don't know, just pull from that, see what they want to do. Like I just did a commission of that. It was a lot of fun, and it was a big painting, but this lady, she actually like amongst the trees, which is a painting right across from me. Is it? Can you see it from the screen?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, there you can see the corner of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's a painting with a lot of white trees, and it's a couple, and they're behind an umbrella. And she said that she liked that, and she was thinking about it. And she was going to buy that. Then instead, she wanted to commission a painting, and she had this whole other idea, and had 4 cats and 2 dogs, and so I did a completely different painting. It was so nice because whenever you do a commission like that, it's like you enter into someone else's world for a bit. Like you get their ideas, and then so I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't. Because like I come up with my ideas all the time. Like kind of like this hummingbird thing. I get these. I paint all the time, and it's fun to be able for someone to say, "Oh, this is my favorite song. I met my husband in New Orleans, and we listened to this, and we walked down the street. Can you paint me something like that?" And I'll think, "Oh my goodness, I love all those things. That sounds brilliant." And then there's other times where someone will say, "Hey, I want a unicorn fighting an alligator," and I'm like, "Oh, that sounds epic, but
not my style."
Yeah, I don't think I could do it justice." And I'll try to help find them another artist, or I'll say, "Oh no, it's not. I can't. I wouldn't do it justice."
Well, Christy said, "I watched your TED Talk a while back and believed you discussed this then, but I don't remember your answer. When you paint, do you see everything vividly in color in your head? And the same with music. Do you hear the music but see colors?" So, yeah, that's where you get a lot of your inspiration.
Yeah, thank you, Christy. Yeah, when I first started painting, I only painted in like a few colors. But I was sighted. I did, art before I lost my eyesight. I did all this drawing, and I was a very visual sort of person. So I remembered the colors. And one thing I was afraid that I was going to forget what color was. That's one reason I went into painting. But it was a way to sort of cement the colors. Like even if I couldn't see them, I could touch them. And at first, it was just drawing like squares and triangles and circles, very geometric shapes. When I was sighted, I could do like a portrait of a person, but it was like graphite and pencil. I could do the blueprints for a house, things like that. And then, so I went from that to just trying to draw squares and circles, maybe making a square black and a circle white, and then getting really crazy and trying to mix the two, making it gray, and then getting really crazy, maybe mixing like another color in, like a red or a blue, and so it's. I went off on a tangent.
It's what you do best.
Yeah, but so I kept adding the colors, and I'm a huge nerd, so I love reading color theory and talking to other artists about how they use color. Like reading about like Monet, who wouldn't use black, but he would use different shades of blue and purple instead, for shadow and to give different feelings, and and the way that some artists will play one color off another, and their palettes are different. Like you hear about like famous artists, and I would love to find out like what colors did they actually use on their palette.
Yeah. Well, Gina joined us and says, "Can we get a close up of the hummingbird painting's progress?"
Oh, sure. Very early days, guys. Very early. I started this afternoon, and I just painted it on the live stream a little bit this afternoon. So I did the drawing right before the live stream. So I haven't even finished blocking out the painting yet, but you can get an idea of the composition at least. I have a bird coming in with his wings are widespread. One wing's going almost to like the other third of the painting. There's a hummingbird that's coming in. You know how a hummingbird will get close to a place where it's going to like drink nectar from a flower, or it's stopping in midair and it's sort of doing a hovering thing. I wanted to get that, so I have this bird coming in. Coming from the top are paint drips, and at first I was thinking about having the drips come off the birds, but I think I kind of like the idea of just almost like rainfall or emotion or something or feeling. I love the color, so I'm going to have all these paint drips coming down, and they're going to be brightly colored, but it's going to be different than this. I'm just putting in a basic color right now. So the birds are going to have a lot of bright color. The paint drips are going to have bright color. Now the background, I'm not sure. Originally, I was thinking about having sort of a washed out background, or maybe towards the bottom, maybe having a little more color and then it getting a little paler going up. But there's so much color that's going to be happening with the hummingbirds and the paint drips, it makes you wonder. You know, like, is that too much color for it all, or would it be too chaotic?
I don't know.
I kind of like the idea of like almost like clouds, like the wispy sort of clouds coming through here, but it's color instead of just white. And then, kind of in there that it's a little lighter, maybe in the middle to get more focus. I don't know.
I gotta think about it.
Yeah.
Well, Lena says, I love it. I love all of it. The colors are amazing. And
you
remind me of Ted Harrison in that you use color for everything but different artists.
Oh.
I'd have to look up Ted Harrison. I don't know if I mean, I'm sure, I bet it's one of those things where I don't know the name, but we probably.
Yeah.
I've probably seen the art.
Well, thank you very much. That's so sweet. I appreciate that. Man, so.
That's like one thing that I really dig about your art is how you use color in a different way. And it's probably like the one thing I'm a little envious of, because I can somewhat draw a little bit. I could probably draw some of what you draw, but like using color to create a shadow, even though it's not necessarily gray, I mean, is interesting. My brain doesn't work that way, so.
Oh yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, it helps if you change everything into values.
Yeah.
So if you think about the lightness and the darkness of a color, that helps quite a bit. One way, if you ever wanted to start trying to paint in a chaotic kind of color scheme, I don't know a better way to describe the way I paint, but you can do what the masters did, where they would paint in sort of griselle, like in a gray, like a black and white, and in grays, and get all the tones, and then you can you don't have to worry about color. You're just worrying about the lightness and darkness of everything.
That's cool.
So you could paint it all out, and you do it all in black and white, or you could do it. A lot of times they would use burnt sienna and other colors.
Yeah.
So instead of grays, they would be doing different shades of oranges or browns, or raw umber, burnt umber. They would use all that.
Well, Gina said maybe in the bottom right corner you can throw in an actual flower that the birds are headed for. The simple background would help the other parts really stand out. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
And then Tracy asked, do you have a favorite subject to paint?
Not really. I mean, there's certain things that I go back and I paint over and over, but and I'll paint a lot. Like I just did like 10 park paintings for the Immersion show, and we're actually working on an immersive experience for a show that we were going to have it at Gallery, and of course the show got canceled because of COVID and everything. But it's going to be an immersive experience where you can walk into like a painting of mine, where you can actually touch the trees and you can touch everything, and that was going to be really cool. But we'll have that as soon as all this stuff's over. We'll have that show somewhere else, and then but I don't know. I love to paint dogs. I do at least one dog show every year. I try to benefit a dog charity. This year it's for the Guide Dog School of Texas, which is the school that train both of my guide dogs, and they're such great people. They're so friendly. They're so wonderful. So I love to paint dogs. I love to paint cats. I used to have cats. Then I found out I was allergic to them, so I can't have them anymore. But I can paint them.
Well, Gina says it looks great in the early phase. And Christy said, it's quite amazing. I'm fascinated by your talent and ability to place your colors. You're truly such an inspiration. I didn't realize you were doing lives on Mondays and Thursdays until I got the email about today's festival. So I'll be sure to try and catch you in the future.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're there's no shame. We like to make fools of ourselves every Monday and Thursday.
Yeah. And I don't mind making mistakes on here either. I in fact, in my studio, I have a rack of shame where it's all paintings that have gone awry, and especially like a lot of early paintings, but even paintings from now, and I think painting is really about the act of painting. Like if a painting turns out, that's great. If it doesn't, you still got to paint it, and it's the act of painting that's therapeutic, that is healthy, that makes you feel better. So when it does turn out, then that's icing on the cake, and that's brilliant. But yeah, so if anybody ever wants to visit my studio, be sure to check out the Rack of Shame.
The Rack of Shame. Well, I'm wondering, it's been a little while and a few more people have joined us, so I'm thinking I should probably do a walkthrough real fast.
Oh.
So I'm going to grab the other camera and I'm going to walk you guys through the booth while John talks about
here,
let
me show you guys first. So we're outside our yard, in our yard. We should take everybody outside.
Let's hang out in the backyard together.
Our neighbors probably think we're crazy, and they're probably not wrong. We missed having art festivals this year, going to them and being a part of them, especially the Denton Arts and Jazz, which would have been going on right now. So we set up our actual festival tent in our backyard, and we thought we'd do a virtual festival. And basically what we do in festivals is we hang out and we chat. It's basically camping with art. So that's sort of what we're doing. It's just kind of a chill, relaxed time where we just chat about things. We talk about art. One of my favorite things about festivals and why we keep doing them and why I look forward to them is because I get to chat with people about the artwork and see what they think about it, what they like, what they don't like, what connects with them, what doesn't connect with them. It's all, if somebody doesn't like something, I like to hear that too.
So we even got the print bin out.
To
pretend like people are flipping through prints. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we clearly lost our minds, guys. So this staycation quarantine thing.
See, this elephant painting, the family one, is I think the perfect example of how you use color. In a different way. To like give shadow and all that stuff.
Oh, well, thank you. I really like doing that bull elephant.
Oh yeah.
I repainted him like 4 times because I kept doing it and I kept changing the shading on his trunk and it just never felt right.
Well, it's cool.
Well, thank you. I wasn't sure like at the end. Finally, when I finished it, I was so happy. It was a commission, the original, and when they liked it, I was so happy because
Yeah, and it was like a family of 4, but they didn't want portraits of themselves. They just wanted the elephants, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they how, but yeah, it was for. I'm not sure if you guys could hear Jackie. You probably could, but yeah, it was.
And this is our backyard. It's so scary.
It is. We have a lot of festival stuff out right now. We have a. We got lots of bins and trolleys and stuff for all of our junk that we use for festivals. This is actually our small tent. We decided that we're only so crazy, so we didn't bring out the big one.
Oh my gosh. No 20-footer for me.
Yeah. But because it is a festival, we are running a special. We always do. So here we go. The shameless self-promotion.
Shameless self-promotion.
No, but for the festivals, we treat festivals like we do a gallery show, and so we always try to bring new paintings, always try to have new originals, but then we tried to do something that's a little bit different. So on this one, because this year is extremely different. I mean, oh my goodness, like there aren't any art festivals in the spring. That's so crazy. So we're doing a thing we've never done, and that's if you buy a print, we'll send you a print for free. And what sparked this was because I had such a wonderful response from the Standing Against the Storm painting that I just did of the lady with the hair and the mask. So it should be on the screen right now. And so I did that, and it was such a wonderful. I just got so much nice feedback for it that we thought, well, hey, let's give this print away for free. And so if you buy anything, you'll get a print of that. Of the size that you ordered. So if you order like a small and a large, we'll send you a large of that. Or if you don't want that print, just write in the notes a print that you do want, and we'll send that to you. And for the first time ever, like limited editions. We've never done this with limited editions, ever. And you said we never would do anything like this, but we just, I don't know, we wanted to do something a little extra different, extra special, but it's the same for the limited editions too. So if somebody bought like a small limited edition, a large, we will send you another of whichever one that you want. And
well, Lita asked, is the girl on the floor with the guitar, which if you go to the other camera, you can kind of see it. Yeah, that one. She asked if it's spoken for.
It isn't.
It is not. No.
Okay.
It is not. And in the way that everybody's seeing it on the camera there, it's a little dark. Because of it's backyard lighting. It's really weird out here, but so it's actually a lot brighter and more
we could bring
colorful.
it inside the tent, maybe.
Yeah. I can do that. And then Mike asked if you ever did a camping painting.
I did one. And I liked it, but I don't know. I wouldn't, after I did that, I thought I had so many more ideas. It's funny, like you do one thing, and then should I switch the camera, sweetheart?
I don't know.
Like to this one?
Well, everything's in the way. Okay.
And you actually took a good picture of it earlier, didn't you?
Well, not this one. You were just messing with this one.
Oh,
but,
I thought you took one of that too.
Anyway, I'll take a picture of tomorrow of it and put it up on the Facebooks. But
yeah, that's a fun thing. I started it. I started that one on a stream like a couple weeks ago, didn't I?
If I got an idea, switch to the other camera.
Okay. Ooh, ideas.
There's. Okay, let me see if I can.
Oh, you gonna bring it over there?
Yeah, I'll show it in the light. It might be better.
But what I did with this painting, I started on stream a couple weeks ago, I think. I'm starting to lose track, guys. All this quarantine morbidness. But so I had her hair, and what I've been doing this week is I was darkening it and adding highlights and lowlights to it, and then and then finishing out the guitar, and then also having the lots of different colors in the guitar. Completely changed the guitar like a couple times, and well, actually more than a couple times. And now the hair going in front of the guitar and then behind the guitar, because I thought it added like a little dimensionality to it. So, but and after we get a really good photo of it, because I have to wait for the photo to be taken, then I'm going to put a heavy varnish on it, and that actually deepens the colors, and it really makes it pop, like the translucent colors and stuff that are in it, the somewhat transparent colors. It makes it pop a lot more, and it gives it more dimensionality. But it's almost impossible to take a good photo, a print quality photo, apparently, before the varnish.
Yeah, well, it's nice and shiny once the varnish is on it, and that makes it next to impossible to get a good photo.
That's one of the things with the painting like that, because it has so much energy, and it's so that the varnish that I put on it makes it almost like candy, where it's just so bright. It just makes the colors where, like the reds are super red, and the blacks are so black, and I don't know. In my mind, at least, that's it's like you just dipped it in the lacquer or something. It just makes it.
Resin would be cool. I'm always trying to get you to do resin.
I thought about doing resin on that one actually, because
that'd be cool.
It would, but a really deep varnish would do the same effect.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
I mean, it's. You want to varnish it regardless, but like shellacked, like a glass surface that it gives it whatever. Anyway.
Well, no, the reason I wonder, is because I could put a varnish and protect it, but some of the paints that I put on there, it'll interact with the acrylic resin.
Really?
It'll cause them to liquefy just a little bit.
Oh, that would be problematic.
Before it cures, but I could put a fixative, like a sealant, in there that will keep that from happening.
Yeah.
But a really deep varnish though will keep a little bit of the texture where the there's not much texture.
I mean, yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm always trying to sell the resin concept. That's just me. So Mike said, I love the paintings. Lita says, wow, I love it.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
And then, Mike said that the camping world is huge.
Oh, yeah. And camping, oh my goodness. I've done so many paintings when I go camping. It's ridiculous, but I've only done one painting of camping. But
You said you did a camping painting, right?
I did.
Yeah.
It was like a tent.
It was a commission.
It was a commission. And I did it sort of a twilight time.
You did two of them.
I did, didn't I?
You did one where, because a guy...
That's right.
Yeah, he wanted his family around a campfire, but he wanted to be smoking a cigar.
That's
so
right.
you spent forever working on the smoke part of that painting. I remember.
That took forever. That was a challenge. That was good.
But it was good. But the smoke looked really good, and he was obviously happy with it.
Oh, that's cool.
We don't have it anymore.
So I did a couple. One where just people hanging out by a campfire, and the other of a tent, because I always think it's interesting with a tent where you're in there and it's so private, but if there's a light on, it's like a glowing light bulb.
That's in fact, Lita's the one that owns that first camping one you did.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, with the tent, with the light coming from the tent.
Oh my goodness! I love that. No, thank you.
Tatiana joined us and says, "How do you keep your energy levels for your schedule?"
Oh,
how are you so hyper all the time?
Me?
Yes.
Oh.
We did earlier. We did a live stream for almost 3 hours at 4, and we took a break and went and ate some pizza, and I was sure that he was going to be like, "Nah, we don't need to do all that live stream. We're not. It's crazy. We're going to go back." No. Finish the pizza. He's like, "I'm out. I'm gonna go set up for killing me, man."
I just want to come out and paint for a little bit. It's such a pretty night. Everything's set up out here, so I'm like, I'm gonna go paint, and and it's so much more fun. So I wanted to come out and paint and work on this painting outside. It's so beautiful, it's so nice.
Yeah, it is really nice outside.
I mean, I don't know what it looks like on camera, but like we're outside, guys. This is ridiculous.
Well, and Tracy says, "How long did it take you to set up?" It looks great.
Oh, thank you.
The tent and everything.
Thank you, Tracy. It wasn't very long. I actually, a 10 by 10 tent, like this tent, it's not like the easy pop up tent. It's the big metal poles that all you gotta.
Yeah, it's a trim line, is what it's called.
Is that what it is?
Trim line. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're and there's a wooden, not wooden. It's a panel walls and all. They're sectional. Everything's heavy, but
so
it probably only took like a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, what we did was yesterday it maybe took a couple hours because we went and got our work truck, got the stuff out, and then set up. You separated the poles, which was helpful, and then it probably only took a couple hours because then we zipped it all up, and today we came back out and hung all the art. And I was actually hanging art this morning, trying to take different booth shots because when you apply to be in a festival, you have to send in fancy booth shots, and they have to be like super clean and photoshopped and all this fun stuff.
They're picky.
Super. And so that was part of the other reason for setting up. It was like, John's got a full body of work with like the immersion series, and juries really like to see a full body of work in the tent, and that's actually kind of hard to do because stuff sells or it's at a gallery or something like that. So it just happened like we have the whole show here, so it was like, well, let's pretend we're at Arts and Jazz and take some booth shots.
Yeah.
Yeehaw. So and then Chrissy said setting up the virtual festival is a great idea. Thanks. I thought we'd lost our mind. For sure. Okay, and Christy said, when you return to a piece, can you tell by memory or feel or a combination of both what you've already done? Like if, sorry, I'm...
Oh, no, but I think I got the gist because I can, but when I first started painting, that was an issue. Like it was something that I had to think about a lot. And I think I got to the point now where I don't have to think about it. It's so automatic because I kind of work in stages. Like I know I want to get this part done to a certain point, and I'll keep painting until I have that certain point. But I have a trick though. I never get painter's block or anything. And here's how. And this is how you can. This isn't what you asked. This is just another thing. So remind me of the question in a second if I go over.
I already forgot the question. You rambled, man. No, go on. I'll...
Thank you. No, but one major thing though, when it comes to anything creative, is having a block. But before you stop on whatever it is that you're working on, have another thing to do. So already know what the next step is going to be. That way, when you go back, like you want to get creative, you want to get started into something. You're not just sitting there wondering what it is you should do. You're not thinking like, oh gosh, maybe this, maybe that, maybe I should paint a tree. I don't know. You know what it is. So you're already painting. You can change your mind and start working on something else, but you always have a next step. So you never have a block. You always have something else. So I know like for me, like, like I'll start a section. I think, well, I'm going to put this color down in this much of an area or in this. I have everything kind of mapped out. So in some of my paintings, there may be like 30 layers of paint, even though it's very thin. It could be translucent, little very like a wash of paint. That's almost transparent, but it's there and it adds a tinting to it. And I know, well, I want to do this all in this one area.
So,
I'm sorry.
If you have like a wash in an area and it dries, can you feel that wash, or do you just remember that you put it there?
That's a good point. Yeah. So
that was part of the question.
Yeah. So for some of the paintings, I'll have lines. Well, all of them I'll have lines that I can touch and feel. Some of them I'll have lines that I can touch and feel that I only need for a while. So like once I finish that section, I can paint over those lines and I'll put in some new lines. And those are new like guidelines and stuff. So like the painting behind us of the couple that are in the trees. When I first started that, I had some lines of the basic horizon that I started with. I had a couple lines going for where the basic idea of the path would be, and then a few little lines for where trees were going to be. And that was just to start blocking or sectioning off the idea of the composition, just to get basic ideas of where things were going to be. Then when I started blocking in the painting, I didn't need those initial lines anymore. So I painted those in and I put in better lines, that more refined where that was going to be. So I had other lines for me to touch and feel. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If that doesn't make any sense, let me know. But so when I first started painting, I would have these big, thick lines that never went away. I would have these giant, thick lines, and that's what I needed. I couldn't deal with anything that was smaller. I wouldn't be able to feel it. Now that I've been painting for a while, I'll have much thinner lines. So I can go from a thinner line, actually paint that line over, and then put some more thin lines. And those are the new lines I can touch and feel. And so sometimes in a painting, I may have like a bunch of different drawings like stacked on top of each other, really thin little lines for me to feel. But that's if somebody's visually impaired wanting to get into art, that's not the way to start. You should start with giant thick lines that never go away.
Yeah.
And then build up to the little lines that. But it's almost like driving, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, Lita sent a picture of the camping painting. If you want to hold it up to the camera.
Oh, here. Let's see.
I don't know if it.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah, it's probably as good as it's gonna get.
Am I in front of it?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I might be able to share it better in the comments.
Yeah.
But yeah. So in that painting that you did, that you can tell like the tents lit up on the inside and all that. I remember that painting. Let's see.
I do too, and I love the feeling of that. I love when you're camping, and you have the tent. And it feels so warm and snuggly inside, and it's like your own little world. Like you got a little bubble world, and you feel protected from everything. And then on the outside, it's like this glowing light, and I don't know, it's a wonderful feeling. I don't know, it makes me want to go camping.
Well, Mike said, let me see if I can get down here. What did he say? He said having an RV, a campfire, and family is great.
Oh man.
Yes. Man, I'll tell you about an RV situation for the crowd. Maybe you guys have some input on this. So John and I have a camper that we used for, well, the idea was we were going to use it for traveling festivals, but we're not doing that now. But anyway, so the camper has got a leak in the right around, like, I guess the AC unit.
Yeah, like the gasket or the rubber seal.
And so I went when I went to go get the truck the other day. I popped my head in to look at it, and the ceiling around the AC unit is like rippling a little bit. So I have no idea what that means. Like I know it's water, but I mean I have no idea what that means in terms of fixing it. Do you just like cut a hole and you just? I mean, like, so any experts out there that know, I mean, heck, if you guys know of a YouTube video on how to do this, let me know, because I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about replacing the seal or getting that, but the wood part, like the part that's buckled, because it's only right there where the AC is, so we can fix that. It's no problem. We'll replace all that, get it all nice and good. But but I'm not sure about how to make it look nice and good.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine we're gonna have to like. I think that because the stuff on the inside of the campers is like vinyl, papery vinyl, kind of like I don't know. It looks almost like what you line drawers with, kitchen cabinets or something.
Really?
Yeah. So I almost wonder if you just kind of like wallpaper the ceiling of your camper, like you fix it, make sure it's sealed and everything, and then you just wallpaper it.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
But I thought it'd be interesting to take a camping trip, and we ordered a cover for it so we can cover it, so that it won't get any worse, and then we'll take it and either bring it here or we'll go on a camping trip and fix it.
Yeah. Well, Mike said you need to use silicone on it, and then remove the old silicone and restain the wood is what it's probably going to involve. Which that doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm wondering.
Get worse. Like we don't want it to rot or anything. Like, and it's not uncommon for those seals to leak. I know. I mean, like it's something you don't want to happen, but if it's going to leak somewhere, that's probably where it's going to leak. But where you don't want it to leak is down in the walls. I know that. And it hasn't leaked in the walls or anything, which is good. It's just right there around the AC thing.
Can you stand or like step on the top of a camper, or will it? So a camper is strong enough to hold your weight on top of it.
Right.
Okay.
It's supposed to. I mean, if it doesn't,
if it doesn't have a serious amount of water damage.
Yeah. I mean, you go first.
We'll see. Maybe we'll do a live stream while we try to fix our camper. Yeah, it'll be a comedic situation.
This stream has been brought to you.
So Kim Taylor joined us, says, "Hi again. Do the different colors feel differently when they are dry, or only when they are wet?"
That's a great question. They mostly feel the same when they're dry, which is something that I always kind of went for, because I didn't want my paintings to look any different than anybody's paintings. Whether it was a sighted person or a visually impaired person. So I wanted my paintings to look the same. But when I'm playing around with them, like, let me see. I've got this is the. Let me put this back. Sorry. Then I got it right here. So these pardon me. This is the same paint. So in this, it has a fluid. Gosh, I swear my brain.
Ink?
A fluid extender.
Oh.
Sorry, a fluid extender in here. So it's a highly pigmented paint. It's this paint. It's highly pigmented, and it's got the fluid extender added to it. So it's very watery. And this is just normal kind of creamy paint. I have other mediums that I can make thicker and all that, but I mostly just use that usually when I'm just mixing the color. So if I want a color that it's halfway between black and white, I can make the white feel like toothpaste. I can make the black feel like oil. So if I want a gray between the two, I make for a texture between the two. Well, when it dries, it's going to feel like any other paint. The difference, though, it depends on the medium. So there's some mediums that actually feel different. So sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear. There's a train. Yeah, you were just asking about the train earlier. That's funny. Found it.
Found it. Where our house is, there's a train that goes by that's like three streets away.
Yeah.
So
it's like 3 blocks. That is, but it's.
I mean, you get used to it, just like anybody that lives next to a train. I don't even think about it anymore.
I don't even hear it. It's a little ways away. Actually, I'm surprised it's so loud. Except that I guess it's just trains are loud. Yeah.
Trains are loud.
Who knew?
So Mike also said replace any rotted trim with plastic molding.
Oh, that's a good thought.
I already know that once we get to this point, I will be reaching out to him. He said that he's got 2 acres that we could park it on and work on it. Which I think his 2 acres are in Hot Springs, which might be a good reason to go to Hot Springs.
I love Hot Springs.
I love it too.
And the arts community in Hot Springs are so cool.
Yeah,
man, it's so nice. We've had the best time. Well, thank you so much for the info and for everything, Mike. I appreciate that.
I watched a couple of YouTube videos on it, and it looked, I don't know.
Complicated?
Yeah. I mean, you got to get tools, like saws.
Oh, we got stuff.
Yeah. I have like a weird fear of power tools. So that's all John's department.
Yeah,
In fact, if you did, it's funny, we've made videos for a very long time. And if you dig deep enough, you'll find a crazy old video that John made of him. You had the saw out here in the backyard.
That's right.
And you were nuts. And
what did I do? I
Because you like to do these weird videos where you would put music to things.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'd edit it all together. And so you made me and Jack come out here and dance at night while music was playing, and the saw was out here, and it was like, oh, and Jack was like, you were like the construction man supervisor was on the.
I do not remember that. I remember bits and pieces.
See, now I'm gonna find that video and I'm gonna post it.
Yeah, we should definitely. We during a stream we ought to play it. It'd be so embarrassing for me, but it would be worth it.
Well, it was more me on it. Like, me and Jack were dancing around, and then Jack was acting like he was using the table saw, and you were like, the construction supervisor doesn't agree with this.
Really?
Yes, you don't remember this?
No, I don't remember that part.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where that video would be.
Was I looking like really hot and buff with a mustache
Always.
and a hoagie sandwich?
Always.
Just
Yeah.
Well, doggone. Yeah, we'll have to find that. It's like Woodworking Blind or something?
Yeah, it's something like that.
It's on YouTube.
Is it on YouTube?
I think so, probably. It's
I'm gonna go
probably
look.
on our YouTube channel.
I'm going to go look while we're sitting here. Really, it's more embarrassing for myself, but
I don't know. I feel I'm already embarrassed, and you haven't even found it. I'm going in embarrassed.
Well, Kim said, so when you layer paint on top of the dry paint, do you just know the color by memory?
Oh, yes. So with that, I do, but that's a really good question, and it's something that's taken me a long time to sort of to work up to. So I work in stages and different layers. So like with this this painting, what I did was I have 3 different layers on this painting that I'm starting with. So I have the under layer, which I'm leaving white right now. I may change that, but I haven't added. So it's a rough canvas still. It's nice rough feeling. It's very different than anything that I've painted on here. All the paint that I put on here has a bit of a slick medium to it. So everything white on here is rough, which is nice. I like that. And so in the next layer is the paint that's going back beneath, and then the layer over that is the hummingbirds. There's a little bit of paint that's coming out in front of them, but it's only in a couple places, so that's not too much to have to remember. So with something like this, what I'm doing right now is I'm blocking out the entire painting. And so when I'm done blocking, I'll know that everything is at least covered in the first layer of paint. So everything is just a basic sort of color. And so when I start painting it in for reals, it's gonna give different shifts of the color. It's gonna make it look a little better. So for this, like I know on this little bird over here, I'm putting a lot of fluorescent sort of green, reds. I went in with when I drew it in, I went ahead and added like some dark, because I know I want his breast to be really dark whenever I put the other colors in here. It's gonna have and right now it's not gonna look right, but when I get to the 3rd and 4th layer that I've kind of pre-planned in my head, then it'll start looking right. So in my head, I have it. I know what layers I'm doing. Like first is blocking, just cover everything. The next, I'm going to go and I'm going to start refining the colors a little bit. And I'm going to start putting in a little titanium white and a little bit of variation of the color. So I don't know if that makes sense, but so like in my brain, I have like the different steps. So I'll go through the entire painting and I'll get that done. And when it's done, either I stop painting for a while or I start the next step. But when I start, it's kind of like a drawing. When I start a drawing, I usually have to be there until I finish it, because stopping and starting a drawing for me is very hard at times, because I'll lose my place and then I lose perspective, and then it just becomes a thing. So, yeah.
Well, Mike said, John, leave out the bird poop. I'm censoring that. I got enough of it, but I love trains. I love trains. I think you should do a train painting.
Didn't I? Oh no, I was going to. I've almost done a train painting like 4 or 5 times. A train painting. A train painting.
Well, and he says, no worries, you are fam, about us coming out there and his help. We really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
And he loves the studio. Christy asked, Jackie, do you have your own Facebook? I do. I am my own person. But my Facebook is under Jackie Siri. I'm not under Jackie Bramblett. And it's Siri, just like the Apple Siri. So, friend me. In fact, my profile pic is the early stages of one of his paintings, so you can pick me out.
Was it the COVID painting?
Yeah, but it was like right before you finished it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sheltering the storm.
Standing against the storm.
Standing. Sorry, I almost,
you don't name your own paintings. It's okay.
No. It's funny because I was. I just realized that before I meant shelter in place earlier.
Yeah.
And I said staycation. So now I had shelter in my head.
That's us convincing ourselves it's okay. It's a staycation. It's not shelter in place.
So I had that. I thought, oh, I should probably, correct that. And then, yeah. So when I say the painting, now I had, yeah.
Okay. So I found the video.
Oh.
I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it in the comments.
Do you want, okay. Well, I'm going to say you could send it to me. I could put it up on the thing, but.
Can I send it to you?
Well.
You might start.
It might take a minute.
Well, it sounds like it's going to get all confusing. I mean, I would hate for anything to go down because all of a sudden we started messing with things. I'm going to put it in the comments.
Okay. It wouldn't go down. It would just take me a minute to share it. But yeah, might as well.
And then
just put it in the comments.
I'm trying to.
Sounds less embarrassing for me. At least I don't have to hear people hear it, watch it.
Let me see if I can go over to the other. Oh, it's cute. It's when Jack was like itty bitty.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that makes it more fun.
So, and then Kim said, "Oh, okay, thanks. One more question. I like the effect natural sponges give. Do you only use brushes?"
I do. Well, I use brushes and paint knives, and the paint knives that I use are like this, like the metal sort of, and a big reason for that, like for the longest, I only used brushes. And I used like tiny brushes because I would feel a little part, and this is one reason why it used to take me a month to do some really small painting, because I would fill an area, and then I would do one little dot, like boop, and then I would have to get more paint, and then boop, and then paint back and forth, back and forth. Finally, I got to where I could do like strokes, and that was like, ooh, I'm really going crazy now. I'm able to stroke on the paint, and but. I wasn't sure like what the what it was doing, so like I wanted to know what the paint was doing the whole time. So I never really got into sponges because I know it's making like effects, and I'm not sure exactly what the effect is. I think I might be able to use it now because I think
we used sponges on one of the murals.
Oh, for mural, yes.
Like big sponges.
Yeah, giant sponges for So for one of the 4-story murals I did in Dallas, we did it for the grass and stuff, like the green area in the back. Yeah, you had to cover. That's right. So I have used sponge, but it was on a giant mural. But I think I could do it now, like because if I know the effect, like the spongy effect, I have that in my head. Then I think if I make it spongy and it feels, I'd probably be able to use it.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, that could be cool. Barbara said, "Hey, I've been working on a little page so your guests can go and see the pictures I took of you at work over at the mural at Bishop Arts."
Oh, that's
And then
cool.
she's got a link there. It's aimforfun.com/JohnBramblett-@-work.
Thank you, Barb.
Yeah, check out the link, everybody. It's in the comments.
That's so cool. Barbara,
and the photos were awesome.
Barbara Brands is so amazing. It's so cool. Like whenever I was working on the mural, she would show up, and she's a photographer, and has so much talent. It's so nice, and that's cool. Yeah, I mean, you've seen those photos before? Haven't you?
Yeah,
You've seen some, yeah.
Tracy said, "I unfortunately have to go, but thank you so much for answering my questions and hanging out. Keep doing what you do. Good night, everyone."
Good night, Tracy. Thanks so much for hanging out.
And Kim said, they are, speaking of the sponges, they are good for foliage.
Ooh.
That's, in fact, what we used them for on the mural.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the giant mural, we use rollers for paint knives, brushes for brushes, and then we use the sponges for a little bit to mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
Because we had hundreds of square feet of trees.
Hundreds of square feet of trees.
Man.
So Barbara said, "Be careful, she's going to get a big head."
No. You deserve it, Barbara. Well, what time is it, my darling?
It's 10:20.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if we...
Are you done painting for the night?
I don't know. Gosh.
I'm kind of curious if anybody clicked on that link to watch you make a... Well, I don't even know if you're on that video that much. I just remember me. It's
funny. It's funny with these videos too. Is that like on we use YouTube to store videos more, like to have them on there. But we've never really tried to grow like our YouTube channel or Instagram channel.
Well, in this
any of our channels really.
And this video wasn't necessarily stored on our YouTube. I don't think.
Oh, really?
I don't know where I grabbed it from. I don't think it was on our YouTube, or maybe it was, but it was buried. A lot of our videos are. I mean, half the time they're unlisted because we're just storing things there. And this was easily 10 years ago because Jack was like maybe 3. So no, wow. maybe it was 9 years ago.
That's crazy. Yeah, and but we're starting to do more of the YouTube channel and
Mindy Durham Keen asked, "Have you done any paintings of your wife and son?"
Yes. I actually, I've done a lot of paintings of Jackie, and except for the ones that you've just hung on to, they sell really quickly. Like we have paintings of you all over the world.
That's right. No, you've done quite a few of me. You did the first, in fact, my favorite one that John ever did. Well, he's done quite a few, and the ones that we've held on to were because of the roller derby ones, because you got to be a fan of me and you got to be a fan of roller derby. So that I don't know if that market is really large.
But I never even put it out there because
I didn't want to. Yeah, that's true. But John did a painting called Muse, and that's my favorite painting I think he ever did of me.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
It was like one of the first ones you ever did of me.
Wow, that was probably. Gosh.
I know exactly. Leah Turlington owns it because I remember she actually. Has 2 that are of me. I mean, she has some others that you painted, but 2 of them are of me. There's Jackie in Grayscale and Muse. And Muse was just like completely white. It was a horizontal and it was completely white, but I'm like in the corner, like, I mean, I'm in the, like the rest of the canvas is right here and it's white. And I'm just kind of looking down and my hair's on, but it was like in an old style that John, like when John was really getting into painting, everything was very blocky and not a lot of blending, so that is my favorite painting.
Wow. And I've done a few of Jack and but not as many of Jack. And part of it too because he's a minor and all. Like I don't want to. Like it's different. I mean, I know it's. I don't know.
And usually with kids, people. Yeah. I mean, kids. It's just
they usually want their kids.
Yeah, they want their kids.
But I have done one. I have one of Jack with Chip, and it's just.
Yeah, that was for me for Christmas.
Yeah, that's right. So most of the paintings I've done of Jack I have because I have a couple. I have one where that I did for children's book that I wrote that I'm writing, and that and he's there, and it's like the whole front cover, but it's. So Jack's in that. I have a couple others. But when he's a kid, I have some when he's a baby.
Yeah,
a little baby, and his first watercolors ever.
Yeah, John did it. Well, he did a couple. He's done a few of him as a baby. 2 of them went
little to. Baby.
One went to my mom. One went to his mom, and then I got one. But with mine came this was when John was starting to experiment in watercolor. And because of the way watercolors work, he had to do the drawing and then lay it under the paper and then feel it over the paper, feel the paper while it was over the drawing. So I kept the under drawing and matted that next to the actual painting. So that's actually a pretty cool piece because you can kind of see, the process behind doing that one. That's probably one of my favorites too.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, like the way that I'm drawing now that I mentioned before that it's a much thinner sort of paint. This was actually a complete mistake that I came. Well, though this one isn't, but what led to this was. But before that, though, like Jackie was saying, the only way that I could draw, so I had the big raised lines, but with watercolor, you can't work with watercolor with giant raised lines or a tint, or if you're doing a glaze because. The lines act like a dam, so it'll keep all the color on one side. So you think you're doing a wash, and the wash will go to the line and stop, and then suddenly it's all crazy and it doesn't come through. So I would have the lines underneath the paper so I could feel it, do the wash over it, and go back and feel the lines and be able to feel it through the paper. So that was nice. That's funny. That was a whole stepping stone to getting to being able to draw like this.
We should do on one of the live streams. We should do a night where it's all paintings of me and Jack. Maybe just all paintings of Jack. But then we could show like that technique, because that was really interesting when you did that back in the day. But, like all the family paintings and stuff.
That's good. That'd be fun.
And Mindy asked, "Awesome! Is it weird for you, Jackie, for him to do a painting of you?"
Is that weird?
No, it's not weird. It's not weird for him. I'll tell you what's weird.
Oh, what's weird?
It's not weird for him to do a painting of me, because, I'm always here. I'm always the subject matter. What's weird is when people buy them, and so then it's like me in their house all the time. So it's like my best friend growing up, and her husband bought a painting of me with an umbrella in Central Park, which is, I love that painting as well. But and that was a big painting. So it's just funny because that's hanging in their house. And then,
Did you as a brunette?
Yeah, me as a brunette, which was weird. And, so yeah, unless it is specifically a painting that we're holding on to, almost all the ones of me have sold. So the odd bit is just knowing it somewhere else. Like even the guy that did my arm tattoo bought a close-up of my face. I don't know if he knew it was me, though. That's what's funny about it. I think he just thought it was a really cool painting.
It was extreme close-up.
Yeah, it was like paint coming down, like almost like the person was crying and they're looking up, and it's all very like high contrast. It was a beautiful painting. But he bought it, and I don't know if he really knew it was me, but
yeah, it was pretty hard. I don't know.
Either way, it was fitting to go in a tattoo parlor. I think it had that vibe, so that worked.
What's his name, Capone?
Yeah. So you think you're done with working on that tonight, huh?
I can't even talk. Yeah, I might be for a little bit. I might have to take a break at least. I might actually take a break and then start working again a little bit.
That's cool. You usually
although I just remembered, we have to move all the electronics and everything from out here
back into the house,
into the inside. So
yeah,
I have to remember that.
See, it wouldn't be true festival,
there was a
weekend if there wasn't a close up that involved moving a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and this time it's a bunch of electronics.
Well, Kim says,
as a reminder, we're in the backyard.
Yes. Kim said, are your portraits from images you preserve, or do you ever 3D print as inspiration?
I do. We have a big 3D printer. Most of the portraits I do, though, are more hands-on. Like I'll fill a person's face. But we do have a 3D printer, so we can use that. And there's also other technology with screen readers that they have, which is really good. That you can take images. At first, this didn't work very well at all. It wasn't very sophisticated, but as the software has gotten more refined, it's almost better than a 3D printer, where you can take a photo of someone and reduce them. And the software will reduce them to lines, and then on a touchscreen device, it'll vibrate as you're touching the lines, and it'll vibrate a little bit for a thin line and more for a thick line. So it turns it into a tactile sort of drawing that you can feel, but it can also make sounds and stuff. So it can make higher notes for a thin line, deeper notes for a thicker line, or it can make different sounds for colors. The one I usually use, though, doesn't do color. It does just lines. But that's nice. So, but way better than that is if you could actually feel a person's face and see what they look like, because with any kind of photo, you're only working with that one instance. Where in real life, and you're feeling their face, you can break down the sections of their face in a much more accurate sort of way, and you get a 3D model, and you get to see the subtle ways that they move, and it's funny, like you have your hands on somebody's face, you become friends pretty quick. Everybody, you're laughing, everybody's and a lot of times when an artist sits with a model, they might be on the other side of the room. You're like, hi, how are you doing? Oh, thanks so much. Okay, we're going to, you're sketching and you're not really talking that much, or maybe you're just chatting. But whenever I do a sitting with someone, I'm actually touching their face. So, we're laughing you get to notice like the little it's like there's little laugh lines or kind of the way they hold their mouth when they smile, just little bits, little things. I love that. And we usually take reference photos as well when we do that.
Yeah.
So,
well,
which is nice.
And this answered her question. She said, but she was curious. Christy said, if someone wanted you to do a commission of their pet, can you print a photo with raised lines to tell what it looks like?
I usually can. It depends on. I'm a huge nerd now, but I was a big nerd growing up as well, and I love cats and dogs. Like I worked at rescues and stuff, but way before that, one of my favorite books I had as a kid was the AKC book of dogs, and I would read about the dog breeds, like the standards of what they look like, what they should look like. Yeah. You know, how tall they were, all this. So if it's a standard sort of dog, I usually have a pretty good idea where to start from, which is really nice. And if there's photos, you're just sort of like using the software and you're just sort of filling in the bits and pieces. And the same with a cat. If it's like a black Persian, they look a little different, generally body type, than like a white Persian. If it's a doll-faced Persian, they look a little different than if it's, it's on and on, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, because I just... So with animals, I love painting animals because I can go from that. Sometimes it's a challenge though. Like if it's like a calico cat, but they have like an unusual spot pattern, and if somebody wants that pattern, then we may need a lot of photos because sometimes the photos don't work. They don't work through the software. Sometimes it doesn't come through very clear, and I don't know. Sometimes I need help.
Yeah, and I'll describe.
You're helping with that, like because. There's sometimes where it's just like, gosh, is this a shadow or is it the way the fur is or is it, they have, is this an ear? I can't tell. Like, I don't know. What's happening here?
Well, Mike said,
is it a three-eyed dog? I can't tell.
Mike said 400 people on the watch party. What a great night. So thank you for sharing it, Mike. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much, Mike. This has been a great day. We had 1,000 people that watched the last one.
Yeah, during the afternoon. That was fun.
Yeah, this is crazy. Well, thank you so much, guys.
And he said, I want a painting of me, but my ego is bigger than your canvas. LOL.
Well, cheers, everybody.
Yeah, cheers. I'm almost out. So
yeah, I am too.
The night is definitely.
Cheers. It's the thought that counts. The ice is cold, though.
It's getting serious. My drink's almost gone.
Oh no.
So, well, yeah, this has been fun. Thanks again for hanging with us almost all day. It almost feels sort of like a real festival. We just need random people walking through our backyard.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. And thanks for sharing, Mike, and everybody for just hanging out with us for this. This is sort of a crazy thing.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
It's probably our only form of exercise during the spring, setting up the tent. So you had to do it. We had to do it.
I'm in my prime.
It's good. But be sure and watch on Mondays and Thursdays, guys, and like and subscribe and all that fun stuff so that you don't miss out on all the fun.
I should say I'm in shape, but my shape is round, I'm afraid.
It's a shape?
Yeah, it's a shape.
It's my shape. I'm
thanks.
Okay. Yeah, I should probably not get on top of the camper, but hey.
Oh, yeah. You're crazy. No, thanks so much, guys. And we're going to be back Monday doing all this, unless we jump on tomorrow because we're crazy. But it'll be Monday, I think, so we're going to have to move all the electronics back in. But I'll work more on this and hopefully finish it. So I'm trying to finish this on Monday. So if you're curious about how it turns out, come back then and I'll finish it. But I can't thank you guys enough for supporting us. And hanging out with us.
Yeah. Thanks and have a good night.
Yeah, have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.